Oh, udah Tin. Đấy nó nó. À, đấy. Để tôi làm cái nó. Để tôi làm cái nó. Jadi
will be published in Asia's oldest journal in agriculture studies, the Tropical Agriculture. Ladies and gentlemen, the DOE was born in 1912. Since then, she has contributed immensely to feed this nation. We are proud of our past. Thanks to those achievements by agriculturists, the dedication and the leadership given by the Department of Agriculture and other allied agencies and the Ministry of Agriculture, today we Sri Lankans are fed with true Sri Lankan diet. We salute to all those who dedicated scientists and other officials and our great farmers for adopting these new farming technologies and reaping the bountiful harvest. The vistas of prosperity and splendor, the vision of His Excellency and His government clearly highlights 10 key policies in the roadmap towards prosperous nation. A nation with a per capita income of $6,500 in 2025. Out of those 10 policy goals, 4 policy goals are directly related to agricultural productivity and production improvement using the environment. In this policy document, the roadmap to achieve people-centric economic development, agriculture was given a prominent task. A technology-driven society is expected. It is envisaged that knowledge and the skill development and adoption of advanced technology in the agriculture sector should be accelerated to compete at global level. The theme of Asda 2020, that is the prosperity through innovative agriculture, fits well with this policy outline of the government. Along with this vision of the government, the Department of Agriculture, under the guidance of the Ministry of Agriculture, have identified crops to be self-sufficient in the near future. All realistic plans are in place for increasing production. And let me take this opportunity to thank all those officers who devoted their time for directing farmers to make with the COVID-19 pandemic threat. We have made realistic plans to achieve self-sufficiency by adopting precision technologies for many crops in the near future. To achieve these goals, technology must be transmitted to the farmers. Different ways of infusing these proven technologies and available resources with the farming community are now in place. With the direction of our Secretary and the Honorable Minister for the smooth dissemination of proven technologies, combining all players in the agriculture will start soon. Honorable Minister Sir, ladies and gentlemen, we must also be ready for the future. The predicted scenarios for the future are not rosy as in the past. Every prediction suggests that the crop growing environment that we are enjoying today will never come again. It is the reality. We really must make our crops ready for the future climate. The Department of Agriculture is ready to take up this challenge, and our climate smart varieties and technologies are no second to any other parts of the technology. We are taking measures to provide chemical residue-free agri products. Agriculture is opposed open blame for lavish usage of fertilizer, which pollutes the environment. We must address these developments. There is no other option other than increasing productivity per unit area, reducing input use, while increasing input use efficiencies. DOA, the Department of Agriculture, has the technology to do that. The demand-driven nitrogen management systems must be adopted. We must disseminate those to the farming communities. With the support from the Provincial Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Department and the Mahali, we have embarked on a mission to make a significant number of farms, agricultural farms, as their farms. We must understand that we should move faster rate than the rate of change of demand aided by changing economies and environment. We must think differently about our farm, our consumer, and the way we respond to the changing people's attitude. Honorable Minister Sir, Secretaries, ladies and gentlemen, with all these, still our farmer is at subsistence level. He doesn't know the gluts and scarcities. He sells his primary product at a cheaper price. We must help the farmer to add value to this product in the value chain. Quality seed is a prerequisite for a bountiful harvest. We in the Department of Agriculture always pioneered in all seed systems in the country. With the Provincial Department of Agriculture, we have joined with them with the private sector as well as with the other entrepreneurs and the farmers to provide good quality seeds, both hybrids and inbreds, in adequate quantities to the farmer at an affordable price. We have relaxed many stringent regulations to encourage the private sector to develop and disseminate new technologies in the future. Private sector is now a part of our mission in producing seeds and planting material. We also have further strengthened our border security, preventing alien living organisms invading us. The quarantine is fully strengthened with the support from national and international donors. We are earnestly believe that the international institutional collaboration would help us to solve all unsolved requirements of our stakeholders. We must embark on a new mission to generate and introduce new innovative technologies along the value chain with the partnership of all line agencies and the private sector. We need to train dedicated scientists to make innovations to face those future challenges. We are very grateful to our Honorable Minister and the Secretary for their continuous support and encouragement. The use of technology in all aspects of agriculture in the world is moving at a very fast rate. We need to accelerate our technology development machinery and disseminating options. It is high time, ladies and gentlemen, we should change our way of thinking and we must redefine our goals. Today, with all these challenges, all these achievements, as well as the challenges, I am sad to say that the Department of Agriculture is handicapped with trained manpower in the same audience in the past. Yet, this is not an excuse. We in the Department of Agriculture is still capable of fulfilling any given task within the limited number of scientists. We have to be very thankful to our Honorable Minister and the Secretary for their untiring effort in settling this non-technical issue of the Department of Agriculture and clearing the path for recruiting new agricultural scientists to support the technology generation and dissemination capacity of the Department of Agriculture. All innovations you will witness in a while later are done by the Department of Agriculture scientists. I am confident that with the staff of my department and with the able support from all of you, we are capable enough to deliver the future expectations of the nation. So, ladies and gentlemen, no individual, no single organization can fulfill today's needs of the society by themselves. Unlike in the past, no single individual organization is capable enough to handle this highly complex task ahead. It is a partnership either nationally or internationally which thrives in the future. We are looking forward to further strengthen our partnership, and we will be looking forward to get all the support in the future. Each one of us in this room very well know the exact way to harness these golden resources, what we have, and to march towards to achieve our future expectations. I know every one of you have committed to do that. We have the best opportunities. We have the blessings from all our ministers, the secretaries up to the Ministry of Agriculture. We must grab this opportunity, and I urge every one of my colleagues to join hands to achieve this gigantic task to make Sri Lanka an agro-based developed nation. Honorable Minister, Sir, Secretaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I once again warmly welcome to all of you to the Asda 2020. I hope this Asda will be a stepping stone. Thank you very much.
බෙහෙවින්ම ස්තුතියි ඔබතුමන්ට. මීට මොහොතකට පෙර අප හා සම්බන්ධ වූ රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය ගරු මොහන්ද සිල්වා මැතිතුමන්ව සාදරයෙන් මෙම සභාවට පිළිගනු ලබනවා. මීළඟට ඇස කෘෂි පර්යේෂණ ඇතුළත් වාර්ෂික ප්‍රකාශනය Tropical Agriculturist පර්යේෂණ සංග්‍රහව අනිකුත් මුද්‍රිත ප්‍රකාශන ආරාධිත අමුත්තන් වෙත පිළිගැන්වීමේ අවස්ථාව. ඒ සඳහා කෘෂිකර්ම අධ්‍යක්ෂ ජෙනරාල් ආචාර්ය WMW වීරකෝන් මැතිතුමන්ට ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කරන අතර ඒ සහභාගී වීම සඳහා අස්දා විස්තර සභාපති ආචාර්ය ගාමිණී සමරසිංහ මැතිතුමන්ට ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කරමු.
have made a new initiative to publish selected articles from Asda annals in the Tropical Agriculturist, one of the oldest agriculture journal in the tropics. This time in Asda there are 26 research papers that will be published in 4 issues of 168 volume of Tropical Agriculturist. 4 research papers with practical importance on agriculture were translated to both Sinhala and Tamil languages in Govikam Sangarava and Kamakulin Vilakam. Further, there are 13 short communications, 2 research news, 17 posters have been published in the Annals of Asda 2020. We cordially invite Dr. Gamini Samarasinghe, Chairman, the Agriculturist Annals of the Asda 2020 and a set of publications to Director General of Agriculture, Dr. Kapil Vilakon, in order to give a brief distinguished guests.
Asda කෘෂිකර්ම ගවේෂණයන්හි විශේෂ අවස්ථාවක් පෙළ තම නොබ වේලාවකින් තිරයේ දිස්සනු ඇති. අපි ඒ සඳහා යමු.
A short, along with how Sri Lanka innovative technologies. This is the time to view the highlights of Asda 2020.
Second Annual Symposium of the Department of Agriculture, Asda 2020. Through innovative agriculture. Sri Lanka has a rich agricultural history dating back more than 2,500 years. Even today, it performs as one of the major pillars in the country's macroeconomy, while ensuring the national food security and providing employment, especially for the rural sector of Sri Lankan agriculture, and also making a substantial contribution to it is well recognized that the historical trajectory of Sri Lankan agriculture has made a gradual transition from subsistence-level agriculture with paddy and other field crops cultivations under both irrigated and to a more organized agricultural production chain, especially after the Green Revolution that came into effect since mid-1960s. Innovation, in other words, doing new or different things effectively, has always been a significant contributor to the incremental successes of Sri Lankan agriculture. Over the decades, at different degrees and scales. Nevertheless, agricultural innovation in our country, unfortunately, has not been designed to operate. It is made up of many institutions and bodies working in isolation mostly, and put in different jurisdictions and commodities. This situation has become a significant limiting factor in delivering anticipated outputs from our agricultural innovation during the last few decades through research, extension, training, and supply and value chains development. Meanwhile, looking into the future, Sri Lankan agriculture will enter risks and challenges driven by various factors, such as changing global markets for inputs and agricultural producers, increasing international competition, trade barriers, lack of labor, climate change, water scarcity, and increasing threats from pest and disease infestation. Hence, acceleration in agricultural productivity growth in the country through more innovative interventions is of paramount importance if we are to harness the current opportunities while mitigating challenges confronting Sri Lankan agriculture. Fortunately, the present Sri Lankan government and commitment made to the people of the country through its national policy framework, popularly known as Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor, or Saubhagya Dakma, envisaged to ensure agricultural prosperity in Sri Lanka by recognizing identity, proven farming skills, and interfacing them with modernity, has made an excellent conducive environment for improving the agricultural productivity of the country. Through innovative agricultural research and extension interventions across the entire production and value chains of our agricultural systems. Thus, it is very clear a timely opportunity with the blessings of a pragmatic and actionable government policy and directives, along with a strong leadership with the utmost commitment for a transformational agricultural productivity gains required to achieve the prosperity through innovative agriculture, the theme of Asda 2020. Is food. During the 18th Annual Symposium of the Department of Agriculture, Asda 2016,
everybody, this is the best agriculturist on the top awards for morning. Everybody, the best scientist, Dr. Gandhi Salarasinghe.
green agriculture, safer tomorrow.
The speakers of both culture, green production, useful to our officials in conducting its prestigious Lifetime Award 2019 to Mr. Suryanimala Vairasinghe. The Promising Scientist of the Year 2019. The Best Agriculturalist of the Year 2019. The Best Scientist of the Year 2019.
Symposium of the Department of Agriculture, Asda 2020. 6 technical sessions of Asda 2020 were successfully concluded a while ago, where 26 research papers were presented by the scientists and agriculturists of the department. 6 peer-reviewed research papers, 13 short communications, 17 posters, and 3 research notes will be published in the annals of the Department of Agriculture. Those peer-reviewed 26 research papers will also be published in the Tropical Agriculturist Journal, the oldest agricultural journal in the tropic. Technical sessions. Genes for prosperity. DGC Jeevani. ANK-GM3, a new large-seeded peanut variety for the confectionery industry in Sri Lanka. WDP Veerasinghe. BW312, a new high-yielding 3-month MC Millavitanachi. Diversity assessment and evaluation of agronomic characters of selected traditional rice accessions grown in the low country Sri Lanka. HMPS Kumari, combining ability and yield traits of bitter gourd. NH Senanayaka. BG409, a new high-yielding rice variety for high potential areas. Evaluation of phenotypic diversity of exotic soybean germplasms in Sri Lanka. Agronomy and climate. A.B. Abesekara. Recent trends of extreme weather events in Sri Lanka. L.C. Silva. Effect of drought at flowering stage on canopy cooling related traits in rice. KKSD Pradeepika. Influence of steckling size and transplanting date on seed production of radish variety Beeralu. J.P. Marasinghe. Evaluation of polypropylene spun bond nets for viral disease management in bitter gourd. EGPS Delpidia. Climate change impacts on maize yields in Sri Lanka. SMACU Senaratna. Effect of aloe vera based edible coating on shelf life and quality attributes of tomato stored in cold rooms. Sustainable environment. J. Pereira. Energy use efficiency of irrigated rice farming systems, a case study in the Ampara district. A.G. Chandrapala. Assessment of soil erosion under different land uses using nuclear techniques. H.K. Kumudini. Impact of intensive farming quality in the Kalpitia Peninsula. N.R.N. Silva. Potentially toxic trace elements in vegetable growing soils in the central province. Assessment of the impact of land use on the phosphorus status of water, stream sediments and soils. Biotechnology for prosperity. D.A. Shirani. Randomly amplified polymorphic DNA-based fingerprinting for putative mutants of Kolikuttuba. W.A.R. Dhammika. Marker-assisted introgression of OPEC2 allele for development of quality protein maize inbred lines. Of quality protein maize inbred lines. N.M. Ubesekara. Genetic purity analysis hybrid 1 and MI maize hybrid 2 using SSR markers. Community in action. PSR Premaratna. Adoption of commercial fruit farming recommendations in the Anuradhapura district. Technology adoption in groundnut cultivation in Sri Lanka. PSR Premaratna. Do non-tariff measures matter on fruit exports from Sri Lanka? Microbes and natural products. DMJB Senanayaka. Identification and characterization of an ISO controlling agent for brown plant hopper. WART. Molecular detection and identification of the causal agent of potato powdery scab disease. KANP Bandara. Aqueous botanical seeds for the management of some vegetable pests. Agriculture not only gives riches to a nation, but they are the only riches our beloved motherland can call them as her own. May the rains shower on time, and may the grains be abundant thereby. Thank you. Stuti. Nandri.
समस्त राज्यांशය තුලින් කෘෂිකාර්මික ඵලදායීතාවය සඳහා කළමනාකාරීත්වයෙන් මෙහෙයවන කෘෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශයේ අමාත්‍යාංශ ලේකම් විශ්‍රාමික මේජර් ජෙනරාල් සුවේද පෙරේරා මැතිතුමනි මෙම සමුළුව ඇමතීම සඳහා ඔබතුමන්ට ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කරනවා.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have had the pleasure in inviting the distinguished gentleman who is responsible for making overall policy directions for the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka. He is none other than the Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture. Now I kindly invite Major General Retired Sumedha Perera, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, to address the forum.
Good evening, everyone. Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Mahindanand Alutgamage, State Ministers, Honorable Mohan De Silva and the State Ministry Secretaries, Dean of the Agriculture Faculty, Additional Secretaries, the Director General of Department of Agriculture, all distinguished, the Head of Departments, all distinguished members, ladies and gentlemen. I am privileged and honored to be here today among this respectable representation from the sector of agriculture, and I take this opportunity to thank the Director General, Department of Agriculture, and all the organizers of this annual event of the symposium for giving me an opportunity as the Secretary to the Ministry of Defence to speak a few words. The vision of His Excellency the President clearly identified the agriculture sector priority areas of development and food security is given utmost importance in vistas of prosperity and splendor. Achieving self-sufficiency and food security in a short span of time is the prime objective of our ministry. Over the past years, the Department of Agriculture has taken the lead in providing sufficient amount of resources and facilities towards conducting research and development activities and immunity to new agricultural technologies for more efficiency and productivity. Today's forum is a great example of the efforts and initiatives that the Department of Agriculture has taken in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a well-known fact that agriculture plays an invaluable and very important role in its contribution to the economy and the development and food security of the country. It is vital to note that the agriculture sector has lost its relative importance during the past few decades. This is evident in the significant drop of GDP contribution from 37% in 1977 to just mere 7% as at today. So Sri Lanka, as a small island with a land mass of about 65,000 square kilometers, and does not have the luxury of establishing large-scale farms or carrying out a major livestock operation. This is where the need for the adoption of high efficiency and smart agriculture practices to enhance productivity per unit area of land comes into play. Now, this is the endeavor that the Ministry of Agriculture constantly strives towards as the prime stakeholder and the main driving force behind agriculture development in the country under the able leadership of our Honorable Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage and state ministers and all other officials under the umbrella of Agriculture Ministry. Therefore, we need to adopt efficient and smart agriculture practices to enhance productivity per unit area of land. Some of the initiatives that the ministry has taken in the recent past in addressing these issues. The agriculture information management system, we are trying to put this system in place, and hopefully the first dashboard will be available by beginning of next year. We expect to collect data and information of all the farming community, the usage of fertilizer, the soil conditions, the crop patterns, the crops per se, and all other related informations that are required to plan out agricultural projects in future. And coordination. Now, as it was mentioned a couple of times, one of the main barriers or the hindrance that we had was there was no proper communication in the agencies that are supposed to carry out agricultural activities in this country. Therefore, with the initiative of our Honorable Minister, we have been able to get the provincial councils, the governors, and the government agents, and all other agencies, including the private sector, to work together with the agricultural sector. Now, this is progressing. Then the fertilizer is one other problem. We everywhere talk about it. The indiscriminate use of fertilizer has become a major problem in this country. Today, our soil condition has been destroyed to a very great extent due to this. So we are discussing to introduce new fertilizers like to address this issue. In time when the world is making advancements toward using high-tech agriculture practices, our plans to do so can be identified as a positive step in the right direction. One such step is the digital transformation to dissemination agriculture-related information. Seed and planting material management programs and QR code system for better efficiency and higher productivity. Ladies and gentlemen, the technology can be of further assistance to integrate agriculture services, increase accuracy in food crop forecasting as a market research and evaluation tool, and also for services like pesticide registration, plant quarantine services, and soil conservation. More importantly, we must understand that food security can be achieved in this country mainly through the high-tech agriculture production, and Sri Lanka can also look at entering into export markets by the supply of agriculture brand name. Looking at fascinating techniques that can be boosted for production to help boost production, such as drone technology, drip and micro irrigation. Site-specific fertilizer application, implementing this is essential for us as a country in order to achieve productivity targets and goals in the coming years. Whilst all of you as specialists make an invaluable introduce new technology and innovations, the time has come to transfer this knowledge to the farmers and farmlands and ensure that implementation take place from grassroots level. To train, as DG mentioned during his presentation, to train a batch of 1,000 in 250 batches around the country. They'll be starting their training in January from 4 different research and farm centers of the island, and they will be getting a very comprehensive training package for a period of 2 months. Gentlemen, this training is to be given to the other research officers and also the development officers as well in the future. To propel the economy towards bringing prosperity to the country, therefore it is imperative that your work, all of your valuable work has to be identified, recognized, and most importantly, these findings, these researchers, these innovations should be applied in the field. I am sure this annual symposium, where your work is evaluated and appraised, will further encourage you to continue with your valuable contribution towards the progress of Sri Lanka. Finally, I wish all of you best of luck and success in all your future endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. We cordially invite Honorable D.B. Herat, State Minister of Livestock, Farm Promotion, Dairy and Egg-related Industries to address the gathering.
පශු සම්පත් ගොවිපළ ප්‍රවර්ධන කිරිහා බිත්තර කර්මාන්ත රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය ගරු ඩී මැති දොණ්ඩ ඇස්ඩා සමුළුව ආමන්ත්‍රණය සඳහා ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා.
කෘෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශයේ අපේ නියමවානන් වුණු මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ අපේ අමාත්‍යතුමනි, ඒ වගේම සහෝදරතුමා, ඒ වගේම කෘෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම් විශ්‍රාමලත් මේජර් ජනරාල් සුමේද පෙරේරා මැතිතුමා ඇතුළු සියලුම රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශවල ලේකම් තුමන්ලා, කෘෂිකර්ම දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ අධ්‍යක්ෂ ජනරාල් WMW වීරකොන් මැතිතුමා ප්‍රමුඛ සියලුම ආයතන ප්‍රධානීන් කෘෂිකාර්ම ක්ෂේත්‍රය හා සම්බන්ධ සියලුම විද්වතුන් හැම දෙනාගේම අවසරයි. අද මේ මොහොතත් එක්ක අපිට එක්කාසු වෙන්නට අවසරය ලැබීම පිළිබඳව අතිශයම සතුටටපත් වෙනවා. මෙතෙන්ට ආපුහාම ඔබතුමාලා අප වෙනුවෙන් ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තියෙන ක්‍රියාකාරකම් එක්ක අපේ අදහස් අපේ මතය නව මාවතකට යොමු කරන්නට ඔබතුමාලා කටයුතු කරලා තියෙනවා. අපි අතිශයම සතුටටපත් වෙනවා. අපි දන්නවා ලංකාවේ කෘෂිකාර්මික ක්ෂේත්‍රය හොඳ තැනකට ගේන්නට තමුන්නාසලා දරපු වෙහෙස මහන්සිය ඒ ප්‍රතිඵල රටට ලැබෙමින් පවතින වෙලාවක තමයි අපි අවතීර්ණ වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. අපි දන්නවා රටක් හැටියට මේ රට හරි තැනකට ගේන්නට ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඉදිරිපත් කරපු සෞභාග්‍ය ඉදිරි දැක්ම කෘෂිකාර්මික ක්ෂේත්‍රයට විශාල වගකීම මැනවින් ඉටු කරන්නට මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ අපේ අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාත් එක්ක බද්ධ වෙලා කටයුතු කිරීමේ කාර්යභාරය මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ මැතිතුමා ඉටු කරන ක්‍රියාවලිය දිහා බැලුවහම අපි තවත් පියවරක් ඉස්සරහට තිබ්බයි කියලා අපිට සෑහීමකටපත් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මම මේ කෘෂිකාර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශයත් එක්ක එකට එක්කහු වුණාම මහජන නියුතික හැටියට අපිට නායකත්වය දෙන මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ මැතිතුමාගේ මාර්ගය ඒ වගේම එතුමා අපව හසුරුවන ආකාරය පිළිබඳව සෑහීමකටපත් වෙනවා. ඒ අත්දැකීමත් එක්ක අපි තමුන්නාන්සලත් එක්ක අපිට පැවරිච්ච වගකීම රටේ ජනතාව ආහාර සකස් කිරීමේ ක්‍රියාවලියට දායක වෙච්ච අපි එක පවුලක් බවට පත් වෙලා රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යවරු කීප දෙනෙක් එක්ක කැබිනට් ඇමතිතුමා අමාත්‍යාංශ ලේකම්තුමා අය වගේම රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය අපි එක කඳවුරක් බවට පත් වෙලා අපි දකිනවා අපිට පැවරිච්ච වගකීම ජනාධිපතිතුමා අපිට පවරපු රාජකාරිය ඉටු කරන්නට අපි හැම වෙලාවකම සැදී පැහැදී ඉන්නවා. අපි මේ වෙලාවේදී කල්පනා කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි ලංකාව ගත්තාම ඈත අතීතයේ කෘෂි කර්මාන්තයේ මත පදනම් වෙලමින් ගොඩනැගිච්ච රටක්. අපි ස්වයං පෝෂිත ආර්ථිකයක් ගැන කතා කරා. 60 දශකයේ එනකොට මෙරට ස්වයං පෝෂිත වෙලා තිබුණේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසාම තමයි විවිධ පාලන තන්ත්‍රයට පත්වෙච්ච හැම කෙනෙක්ම රට ගොඩනගන්නට කෘෂිකාර්මාන්තය ඉහළ තැනකට ගේන්න හිටියා. ඒ සියලු කාරණා කටයුතු තුළ අපි තවත් කාරණාවක් අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. කෘෂි වැඩි වෙන්නත් එක්ක ඒ වැඩි වෙන ජනගහනයට සරිලන ප්‍රෝටීන සහිත ස්වයං පෝෂිත ආර්ථිකයක් ගොඩනගන්නට අපිට පෙනෙමින් කොච්චරක් දුරට පෙනී හිටියද කියන කාරණාව පිළිබඳව අවධානය ලක්වන්න ඕන කාරණාවක් මේ. රටක් හැටියට ගත්තාම අද ජනතාව බෝ නොවන රෝගවලින් පෙළෙන විශාල පිරිසක් ඉන්න රටක්. ඒ මේ ජනතාව මේ බෝ නොවන රෝගවලට ගොදුරුනේ. විශේෂයෙන් ආහාර රටාවට ලොකු වගකීමක් තියෙනවා. අපි 60 දශකයේ හරිත විප්ලවයත් එක්ක තාක්ෂණය මෙතෙන් එකතු කරා. වැඩි අස්වැන්න ශා කරා. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි පෙනී හිටියා. ඒ හැම වෙලාවකම මම විශ්වාස කරනවා සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න බව පසෙක තියලා අපි ස්වයං පෝෂිත ආර්ථිකයක් වෙනින් වැඩි අස්වැන්නක් වෙනින් පෙනී හිටියා. මේ නිසාම වෙන්නේ නැති කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා. මේක මට ප්‍රශ්නයක්. මේක සැකයක්. ඒ කාරණාවේදී විශේෂයෙන් අපි අවධානය යොමු කරන්න ඕන ඥාන තාක්ෂණය තුළ වැඩි අස්වැන්නක් නෙලාගත් අපි විශේෂයෙන් සෞඛ්‍ය සම්පන්න බව කියන කාරණාවට වටිනාකමක් දුන්නත් අද තමුන්නාසලා කතා කරනවා. මහ පොළොවේ පීච් අගේ තමුන්නාසලා ආම්ලිකතාවේ භාෂ්මිකතාවය ගැන කතා කරනවා. හැබැයි ඒ සියලු කාරණා කටයුතු වැඩි අස්වැන්නක් වෙනුවෙන් මේ පරිසරය අංශි ගත්තා. හැම වෙලාවක මුසුක වුණේ වැඩි අස්වැන්නක් වෙනුවෙන්. මෙන්න මේ වගේ වෙලාවක විශේෂයෙන් සෞඛ්‍ය ක්ෂේත්‍රයයි කෘෂිකාර්මික ක්ෂේත්‍රයේ ඔබේ දැනුම විද්වතුන් හැටියට තමුන්නාසලාගේ දැනුම මේ සෞඛ්‍ය අංශයත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා කොයි පැත්තටද නිෂ්පාදනය යොමු කරන්න අපි දායක වෙන්නේ කියන කාරණාව අපි තුල තියෙන හිටින්න ඕන. නිසා අපි ඒ කාරණාවත් විශේෂයෙන් මතක් කරමින් අද වගේ දවසක ඔබත් එක්ක මේ විදිහට එක්කහුව වෙලා පොන්චි අත්දැකීම ලබා ගන්නට අපිට හැකියාවක් ලැබීම අතිශයම අගය කරමින් මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ ඇමතුමා අපේ අමාත්‍යාංශ භාර ඇමතිවරයා හැටියට ගමුන්නාසලත් එක්ක එකතු වෙලා කටයුතු කරන්න අපි සූදානම්යි කියන එක මතක් කරමින් සියලු දෙනාටම සුබ අනාගතයක් පතමින්
Thank you very much, sir. We cordially invite Honorable Mohandi Silva, State Minister of Production and Regulation of Chemical Fertilizers and Insecticide Use, to address the gathering.
පොහොර නිෂ්පාදන හා සැපයුම් රසායනික පොහොර හා කෘමිනාශක භාවිත නියාමන රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය ගරු මොහන්ද සිල්වා මැතිතුමන්ට සභාව ඇමතීම සඳහා ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා.
සුබ සන්ධ්‍යාවක් ඔබ සෑම දිනකටම මේ අවස්ථාවේ අද ප්‍රධාන ආරාධ්‍ය හැටියට සම්බන්ධ වන අපේ රටේ අපේ රජයේ කුෂිකර්ම ගෞරව අමාත්‍ය මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ මැතිතුමනි, ඒ වගේම මගේ සහෝදර රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය ඩී.බී. හේරත් මැතිතුමන්, ඒ වගේම අපේ කුෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශයේ ලේකම්තුමන් සුමේද පෙරේරා මැතිතුමන්, ඒ වගේම අපේ රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශයේ සියලුම ලේකම්තුමන්ලා, අපේ කුෂිකර්ම අධ්‍යක්ෂ ජෙනරාල්තුමන් ආචාර්ය වීරකෝන් මැතිතුමන්, වගේම ආචාර්ය ගාමිණී සමරසිංහ මැතිතුමන් ප්‍රමුඛව අද මේ අවස්ථාවට සම්බන්ධ වෙච්ච ඔබ තමුන්නාන්සේලා හැමදෙනාගේම ඉතාමත්ම ගෞරවයෙන් අවසර ඉල්ලනවා. මම ඉතාමත්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා. ඉතාමත්ම වැදගත් මේ අවස්ථාවට සහභාගී වීමට අපිට ආරාධනා කිරීම පිළිබඳ. නැත්නම් මේකට අපේ ආචාර්ය සමරසිංහ මැතිතුමන් මට ආරාධනා කරපු අවස්ථාවේ මේ ගැන කිසිම වැටහීමක් තිබුණේ නැහැ මට. මම එතුමාගෙන් අහුවා මොකද්ද මේකේ අරමුණ කියලා. ඇත්තට එතුමන් කිව්ව කාරණේ තමයි මේ ඇවිල්ලා සම්බන්ධ වුණොත් යමක් දැනගන්න පුළුවන් කියන කාරණේ. ඉතින් ඒ අනුව තමයි අද විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි මේ අවස්ථාවට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපි ඊ타මත්ම නිහතමානීව ඔබතුමාගේ ශාන්මාන්තය ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න දරන උත්සාහය පිළිබඳව අපේ ගෞරවනීය ස්තුති පුද කරන්නට ඕනේ. අපි දන්නවා අතිගරු අපේ ජනාධිපතිතුමන් ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමන් එතුමන්ගේ වැඩපිළිවෙලේ ලොකු රටේ කුෂිකර්මාන්ත ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසාම තමයි එතුමන් මේ කුෂිකර්ම ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨය මෙහෙවන්න අද මේ සමාජ පරිවර්තනය කරන්න ලොකු දායකත්වයන්ට මේක බාර දීලා වගේ එතුමන්ගේ සහායට රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශ ගණනාවක් ඇති කරලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි අපි ජනතා නියෝජිතෙන් හැටියට ජනාධිපතිතුමන්ගේ වැඩපිළිවෙල ඉදිරියට ගෙන යන්න කොතරම් උත්සාහ කරත් ඔබ තමුන්ලාන්සේලාගේ දායකත්වය නිශ්චයාකාර ලැබෙන්නේ නැත්නම් අපේ උත්සාහය ඵලදායී වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මම ඒ නිසා ඔබතුමන්ලට අපි හැමදෙනාටත් වඩා වැඩිපුර කාර්යභාරයක් මෙතනදී පැවරණයි කියන කාරණා අපි කියන්නට ඕන. අපේ ලේකම්තුමා කිව්වා වගේම මම හිතන්නේ අපිට නිෂ්පාදනයේට අපේ රටේ ආර්ථිකයට 35ක 40ක දායකත්වයක් ලබා දුන්නා. හැබැයි දැන් අද වෙනකොට අපි කුෂිකර්මාන්ත හැටියට 7.6ක් පමණ මම හිතන්නේ බරපතල කාරණයක් කියලා අපි දකින්න ඕනේ. ඒකට කරුණු අපි හොයා බලන්න වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා අපිට දැන් පොහොර විෂය බාර දීලා තියෙනවා කුෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශ වැඩපිළිවෙලක් යටතේ වෙනත් රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශයක් හැටියට. විශේෂයෙන්ම දැන් මෙතන පස පිළිබඳව පොහොර පිළිබඳව නිරන්තරයෙන් කතා කරනවා. ඒ ඇත්තටම අපිට බරපතල ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා මේ රටේ පොහොර භාවිතය වැඩි කියන කාරණේ පිළිබඳව. ඔබතුමාලා දන්නවා අපේ රටේ හෙක්ටයාරයකට වෙනත් රටවල් වලට වඩා වැඩිපුර පොහොර ප්‍රමාණයක් යොදනවා. ඒ වගේම අපි අපේ රටේ ජාතික ආර්ථිකයෙන් විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් පිර රටින් පොහොර ගෙන්නන්න අපි වැය කරනවා. ඒ නිසාම තමයි අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා මේ රටේ කාබනික පොහොර යොදාගෙන කරන වගාව ප්‍රචලිත කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා කියන්නේ. නමුත් අද අපේ ලේකම්තුමා තියෙනවා අපි අද උදේ අනුරාධපුරේ මේ පොහොර පිළිබඳ පොඩි වැඩමුළුවකට ගියා. මේ රටේ ගොවීන්ගේ ලොකු නැඹුරුවක් තියෙන කාබනික පොහොර එතනදී ඒක ගොවි මහත්තයෙක් කියව ප්‍රශ්න තමයි. මම දන්නේ ඒ කාරණේ ඇත්තද කියන කාරණේ. තාමත් මේ රටේ කාබනික පොහොර යොදාගෙන වැඩි අස්වන්නක් ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් වී නිෂ්පාදනයක් වෙලා නැහැ කියන කාරණේ. මම දන්නේ ඒක ඇත්තද කියන කාරණේ. ඉතින් එහෙමනම් අපි ඒක අභියෝගයක් හැටියට ඔබතුමාලා ඉදිරියේ තියන්න ඕන. මොකද අපි කොච්චර කාබනික පොහොර වගාව ප්‍රචලිත කරන්න කතා කරත් ගොවින් කියනවා නම් කාබනික පොහොර යොදාගෙන වැඩි අස්වන්නයක් ලබා ගන්න පුළුවන් වී වර්ගයක් තාම මේ රටේ නිෂ්පාදනය වෙලා නැහැ කියන කාරණේ. ඒක මම හිතනවා අපිට අභියෝගයක්. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා මම හිතනවා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා ඔබතුමාලා හැමදෙනාම මේ රටේ කුෂිකර්මාන්තය නගා හිටවන්නට ලොකු දායකත්වයක් දක්වන විද්‍යාඥයින් අපේ නායකින් හැටියට හොඳ වැටහීමක් ඇතුව කටයුතු කරමින් අතිකරු ජනාධිපතිතුමා අගමැතිතුමන් ප්‍රමුඛ අපේ රජ විශේෂයෙන් මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගම මැතිතුමාගේ නායකත්වයෙන් අපි කරගෙන යන වැඩපිළිවෙලට ඔබතුමන්ලගේ දායකත්ව ලබා දෙවි කියන විශේෂ ආචාර්ය වීරකෝන් මැතිතුමන් ප්‍රමුඛ අපේ සියලු දෙනා අපේ වැඩ කටයුතු වල විශාල ශක්තියක් ලබා දෙනවා. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම මේ අමාත්‍යාංශ රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍යවරයෙක් හැටියට වැඩ බාර ගන්නකොට මට එච්චර හිතේ සන්තෝෂයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ. මොකද මේක අපිට අදාළ ශේෂ්ඨ නොවන නිසා. නමුත් ගරු අමාත්‍යතුමත් එක්ක මේ අදාළ ආයතන නිරීක්ෂණය කරන්න පැමිණි අවස්ථාවේ තමයි මට තේරුනේ මේ කුෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍යාංශ කොච්චර වටිනා අමාත්‍යාංශද කියලා. බොහොම සන්තෝෂෙන් තමුන්නාසලත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන්න පුළුවන්. එතෙන්දී මම හිතන්නේ අපිට අපේ මට්ටමින් ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් යම් සහයෝගයක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි සම්පූර්ණයෙන් කැප වෙලා ඔබතුමන්ලගේ වැඩ කටයුතු සාර්ථක කරගන්න අපිට ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් ඉහළම සහයෝගය ලබා දෙනවා වෙන කාරණේ මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශයටපත් කරමින් නැවත වතාවක් මේ ඊටාම වැදගත් මේ සුවිශේෂී මොහොතට ආරාධනා කිරීම පිළිබඳව අපේ ආචාර්ය වීරකෝන් මැතිතුමන් ඒ වගේම දෙනාටම මගේ ගෞරවනීය ස්තුතිය පුද කරමින් ඔබතුමන්ලාට සුබ අනාගතයක් ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින් මගේ අදහස් ප්‍රකාශ කරන බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
ස්තුතියි අමාත්‍යතුමනි. මේ එළඹෙන්නේ ඔබ මෙතෙක් බලා සිටි ශ්‍රී ලංකා කෘෂිකර්ම දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ වාර්ෂික සම්මේලනයේ අති උත්කර්ෂවත් අවස්ථාවයි. එනම් සම්මාන ප්‍රදාන උළෙලයි.
Yes, this is the time to start the awarding ceremony of Asda 2020. So we kindly invite Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon, Director General of Agriculture, and Dr. Gamini Samarasinghe, Chairman Asda, to the stage to receive the medals, awards, and plaques from sponsors of Asda 2020. May I kindly request Mr. Shanta Emitiagoda, Secretary, Sri Lankora, and former Additional Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture to hand over the award and the plaque eminent agriculturist to the Director General of Agriculture, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon. Thank you very much, sir. May I cordially invite Mr. Anjana Lilaratna, Chief Operating Officer, CIC Agribusiness, to hand over the gold medal of the Best Agriculturist to Director General of Agriculture, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon. Thank you very much, sir. May I now kindly invite Mr. Athaud Jayavardhana, Chief Executive Officer, Innovative Pesticides Marketing Private Limited, to hand over the gold medal of the Best Scientist to Director General of Agriculture, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon. Thank you very much, sir. It's our privilege to invite the following dignitaries to the stage. Honorable Mahindananda Alutgamage, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable D.B. Herat, State Minister of Livestock, Farm Promotion, Dairy and Ag-related Industries, Honorable Mohan De Silva, State Minister of Production and Supply of Fertilizer, Regulation of Chemical Fertilizers and Insecticide Use, Major General Retired Sumed Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Professor Lalit Suryagoda, Editor-in-Chief, Asda 2020, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon, Director General of Agriculture, Dr. Gamini Samarasinghe, Chairman, Asda 2020. Dear sir, we humbly request you all to visit the stage. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to awarding the eminent agriculturist, Sri Lankora Asda 2020. Sri Lankora Alumni Association. Since Asda 2015 initiated an award scheme to appreciate eminent agriculturists who had done an exemplary contribution to the Sri Lankan agriculture. Executive Committee of Sri Lankora, in consultation with the Director General of Agriculture, has carefully evaluated the contribution of many scientists, academics, policymakers who were directly involved in the agriculture sector in Sri Lanka during their career as the eminent agriculturists of the year 2020. Yes. 1950s in a village known as Dayandara in Mathura district. He completed his primary education from Ketiape Primary School, goal for secondary education. Later, he obtained BSc degree from Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya, and subsequently joined the Department of Agriculture in 1980s to work as a rice breeder at Rice Research Institute, Batalagoda. Later, he completed master's degrees Colorado State University, USA. From 2000 to 2010, he was the principal scientist at the Rice Research Station, Ambalantota. He has bred and subsequently BG 366, BG 304, BG 305, AT 306, AT 307, AT 308, AT 309, which is an aromatic rice, AT 311 Niroga, and AT 373 Suwanda Samba. He has bagged several prestigious awards in recognition of his exemplary work during his tenure at the Department of Agriculture. To name few: Presidential Award for Outstanding Research Achievement 2004, International Rice Research Institute Award for the Best Rice Scientist 2006, the Best Scientist of Asda 2010, Presidential Award for Excellent Contribution made to improve the rice production in Sri Lanka 2014, Dakshina Abhimani Award by the Southern Provincial Council in 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lifetime Achievement Award for the eminent agriculturist of the country, given by the Sri Lanka Korea Rural Development Administration, goes to Yes, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to Mr. B.D. Patinayaka, who is the eminent agriculturist of the year 2020. We cordially invite Honorable Mahindananda Amutgamage, Minister of Agriculture, to present the plaque, and Honorable D.B. Herath, State Minister of Agriculture, to present the cash award. Major General Retired Sumedha Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. W.N.W. Veerakon, Director General of Agriculture, Dr. Gamini Samasinghe, Chairman, Asda 2020, to make the honors. Thank you, sir. Now I kindly invite Ms. P. Malati, Executive Committee Member of the Asda 2020, to hand over the list of Asda awardees to the Chairman of Asda 2020. Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to awarding the best agriculturist and the best scientist of the Asda 2020. This has been practiced since the inception of Asda. It is a rewarding mechanism for the agriculturists of the Department of Agriculture who have excelled in their disciplines. Their service to uplift the agriculture in the country is so huge, and hence their appreciation should not be overlooked. This time also, best scientists and the best agriculturists have been identified. This award for the best scientist is presented to the best researcher for his uninterrupted scientific endeavor, contribution to agriculture while promoting the career. The best agriculturists, on the other hand, take the technology to farmers, to other stakeholders, and does an unmatched service to the nation. This is why gold medals. In accordance with the customs of annual symposium of the Department of Agriculture, Asda 2020 has selected the best scientist and the best agriculturist of the year 2020 by an eminent panel of judges comprising Professor D.K.N.G. Pushpakumara, Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya, Dr. Ms. Shelomi Krishnaraja, Director General, Department of Botanical Gardens, Mr. S.D.N.U. Senadira, Senior Consultant, Sri Lanka Institute of Development Administration, Mr. Athawuda Jayawardena, Chief Executive Officer, Innovative Pesticides Marketing Private Limited, Mr. Varuna Madhavanarachi, Chief Executive Officer, CIC Agribusiness. Yeah, this is the time to awarding the best agriculturist Asda 2020. Born in 9th October 1966 at Mathura district, she completed her primary education and secondary education from Mathura Sujata Vidyalaya and subsequently qualified for the university entrance from the same school. She graduated from the Faculty of Peradeniya in 1993 with a second-class upper division pass. Later, she obtained a MSc degree in Gender and Agriculture from University of Larenstein, Netherlands in 2003. This hard-working young officer joined the Department of Agriculture in 1994 as a contract basis lecturer and joined with a permanent service in 1996 as a lecturer in the Sri Lanka Agricultural Service, and moving with the students of the Schools of Agriculture, Labudua, for service, switched her career towards extension service as an Assistant Director of Agriculture Extension in Galle district of the Provincial Department of Agriculture, Southern Province. While working as an Assistant Director of Agriculture Extension in Galle district since 2013, she was instrumental in developing training facilities in District Agriculture Training Center, Poddavilla, and popularizing agrotourism in southern province of Sri Lanka. 2016, she has been shouldering the entire agriculture extension work in the Galle district as a Deputy Director of Agriculture of the Southern Provincial Department of Agriculture, where she has made an outstanding contribution to agricultural development of the district, which is being very often by the policy and lawmakers in the southern province. Ladies and gentlemen, the best agriculturist of the year 2020 goes to yes, put your hands together to Mrs. Deepani Anusha Palihavadana. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time to awarding the best science 2020. Being the youngest in the family, he started his primary education at Manipa Hindu College, Jaffna. He qualified for the university entrance from Vaddukodai College, Jaffna. He was graduated from the University of Agriculture and obtained his master's degree from Punjab Agriculture University in 2002. Later, he obtained his PhD in plant breeding and genetics from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore in 2013. This very enthusiastic and academically sound officer from Field Crops Research and Development Institute, Mahailuppalama in 1993, and then continued his research activities on plant breeding from Agriculture Research Station, Tinaveli. During Agriculture Research and Development Center, Kilinochchi, from its ruins to present state as fully fledged agricultural research center in the northern province. As a plant breeder, he has developed new cluster onion and OFC varieties which are to be released by the Varietal Releasing Committee of the Department of Agriculture for general cultivation. Currently, he serves in number of national research grants, research paper evaluating committees. Meanwhile, there are more than 35 research publications for his credits on the subject of plant breeding. During his tenure at the Department of Agriculture, he has been conferred scientific excellence, including Presidential Award for the Best Contributor in the Agriculture Sector 2018. Currently, he holds the position of the Regional Agriculture Research and Development Center, Kilinochchi. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to the best scientist of the year 2020 goes to... Really invite Honorable Mahindanand Alutgamage, Minister of Agriculture, to present the gold medal, and the Honorable D.P. Herat, State Minister of Agriculture, to present the certificate. Again, Honorable Mohan De Silva, State Minister of Agriculture, to present the cash awards. Major General retired Sumay De Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Director General of Agriculture, and the Chairman Asda 2020. Awarding the best paper of the Asda 2020. Now I would like to invite Professor Lalit Suryagoda, Editor-in-Chief, to express his views and announce the best paper of Asda Annals 2020.
Good evening, everyone. Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Honorable State Ministers of Agriculture, and Secretaries of those ministries, Director General of the Department of Agriculture, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon, Chairman of the Asda 2020, Dr. Gamini Samarasinghe, Directors, and heads of the other institutes, University Academia, including the Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya, and private sector professionals, and distinguished guests. I am indeed privileged to stand in front of you all, representing the editorial board of the Annals of the Department of Agriculture 2020, just to announce the research forum related to the national agriculture in Sri Lanka. If I brief you the process that we have adopted in a nutshell, the process started a few months back, and we received almost over 90 papers to be considered for the publishing in the Asda 2020, and those papers by the editorial board, and then all these papers were sent outside to independent reviewers including University Academia and the members of the Department of Agriculture and other eminent scientists in Sri Lanka with respect to their specialties to review the comments for those papers. Editorial board once again sat together and internally those papers, and this was just a stressful task, but we really enjoyed being as a member in the very efficient, very dynamic and competent members from the editorial class was really fruitful and was really productive. And while going through all these papers, we had to look at different aspects when thinking of awarding the best research paper of the Asda 2020. So we looked at different aspects, as I have mentioned, such as the academic merit of those research findings, conventional replicated experiments, whether our research officers are boxed outside or whether they are just confined into a conventional framework, where we are struggling, as a lot of presenters mentioned a little while ago. We have to break the box and look outside and then find innovative ways of approaching the current problems that we are encountering today. So we wanted to look at whether our research officers' research findings are of that nature of the country that we are facing right now. And also, we also looked at the technical relevance of those research outputs, whether those research outputs are trying to address the practical problems that we are encountering right now in the sector today. Rather than confining into theoretical research, we really wanted research outputs that can be delivered to the general public, where the farmers and then the country as a whole, these research findings. So we looked at those important aspects as well, outputs, research findings. And also, not only the applicability of those findings to the general sector, general public, we also wanted to look at the competency of our research officers. How good are they in their presentations? How good are they in their writing? And in terms of communicating their research findings to general public. And specifically, we went through all these research papers and found out there are quite a lot of researchers who are really excel in their scientific communication. So therefore, obviously, our task was tenuous. So the papers, the writings were in very high standards. And also, not only the comments received from our internal editorial board, we also looked at the comments received from the external evaluators. How good in comparison to the external reviewers' comments, whether our is being recognized by the external evaluators in their independent evaluations. We looked at all those different aspects when finding out the best research paper for Asda 2020. So, as you all have undergone or just aware, we had with respect to the crop growth as well as in the soil fertility aspects, plant protection related papers, sociology and social sciences and economics aspects of agricultural sector, molecular biology and biotechnology, as well as crop breeding or plant breeding related. Ladies and gentlemen, after going through all those rigorous evaluation process, we shortlisted a couple of good quality papers where the task was once again getting very tough, best out of best papers, and later on we unanimously, we just had our independent or individual judgments and then try to figure out whether our independent judgments are tallying in order to find. We found the best paper for Asda 2020, the titled ANKGN3, a new large seeded jumbo peanut variety for confectionery industry in Sri Lanka. When looking at this, after finding or just after our evaluation, we also found that ladies and gentlemen, this has already been accepted by the farmers, where instead of importing the jumbo peanut from the other countries, our farmers are accepting this product already, and therefore it is already there on the ground. So we were happy about our judgment as well about the findings of Department of Agriculture. So the paper was presented by DGC Jeevani. So the best award is going to DGC Jeevani once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Suryagoda. We cordially invite Honorable Mahindananda Alutgamage, Minister of Agriculture, to present the certificate, and Major General Sumedha Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, to present WMW Virakon, Director General of Agriculture, and the Dr. Gamini Samarasinghe, Chairman, Asda 2020, to make the honors. It's our privilege to invite the Chief Guest, Honorable Mr. Mahindananda Alutgamage, Minister of Agriculture 2020.
සෞභාග්‍ය දක්ම ප්‍රතිපත්ති ප්‍රකාශනයේ දියත් කිරීම සඳහා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතාන්ත්‍රික සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ කෘෂිකර්ම අමාත්‍ය ගරු අලුත්ගමගේ මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ මැතිතුමන්ට කෘෂිකර්ම දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ වාර්ෂික සම්මේලනයේ 2020 ආමන්ත්‍රණය සඳහා ගෞරවයෙන් ආරාධනය කර සිටිනවා.
Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, State Secretaries, Additional Secretaries, Director General of Agriculture, Chairman Asda, University Academia, private sector participants, all the other officials of the Department of Agriculture, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, let me thank the organizers for inviting for this important annual event of the Department of Agriculture. I'm indeed and privileged and honored to address you, Minister, when the government of Sri Lanka has identified the agriculture sector as one of the most important sectors in the country's economy and livelihood. As you are well aware by now, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all the like tourism, textile, and other sectors dealing with import and export have severely affected. Agriculture can help to heal the stress on the economy. As I know, the annual symposium of the Department of Agriculture is an annual event which creates a forum for scientists from the Department of Agriculture to present and share their technical expertise with other members of the scientific community, as well as other engaged in agricultural development in the country. Asda also presents several awards at the symposium every year in order to encourage the officers of the Department of Agriculture to motivate the innovation as well as to appreciate the dedicated service and contribution made to the agriculture excellence. Department of Agriculture has taken this initiative long time back and is still continuing to encourage the officers to get the better results from their respective fields. As a country, I strongly believe we can do more from within this sector to support the economy of this country. The theme of you have selected for this 22nd ASDA through innovative agriculture perfectly fits to the present need of the country. Agriculture has lost the place in its contribution to the GDP to an average of 7% in the recent past. To bring it back to a level to have a reasonable share in the economy of this country, to support the country development initiative by the present government. New and efficiency has a major role to play. I don't want to tell you that we are spending large amount of foreign exchange to import major food commodities such as and potato for human consumption and maize for animal feed. With the blessing of His Excellency the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, I have taken within our country. We may not be able to be completely self-sufficient in potato, but at least be able to grow 60% of the requirement within 3 years. Chili, maize and onion should be expanded with the modern technology, achieving the yield potential using the best varieties to completely stop the imports. That you have all developed good hybrid and associated technologies to achieve the best productivity in our soils. My worry is the availability of this. I see a large technological gap between the research yield and the yield obtained by our farmers. We must do everything possible to take all these technologies to our farmers and the fields to achieve our dream, which is the highest income for the farmer, better productivity. This is where I need the cooperation of all of you, irrespectively of your the motherland, to achieve this task. I'm talking this possible means to strengthen the grassroots level extension mechanism to distribute all your technological breakthrough to poor farmers to achieve the highest yield. We must also not forget to harness the potential of the use of organic sources in substituting the use of chemical fertilizer. We have decided to reduce chemical fertilizer usage by 30% to reduce the foreign exchange spent on the import of chemical fertilizer. Therefore, I request all the scientists at this gathering to work on alternative sources of fertilizer to cut down the imports of chemical fertilizer. That is what the country needs from you and at this important time. Good quality seed is the secret of the good harvest, as you all know. Farmers always complain about this availability of the quality seeds for their cultivation. They trust the seeds from the Department of Agriculture. But do we supply those seeds to meet their demands? Answer is no. My primary objective is to provide good quality. I will give all the required facilities for you to achieve this primary task, which our farmers are expecting from us. You have many good varieties. You must also available to farmers on time to get the better harvest. Therefore, I feel the Department of Agriculture should engage on the expansion of seed and planting material production, agriculture and production. I request all those who are engaged in agriculture to join hands with me, satisfy this aspiration as a whole to achieve this. I've seen the summary of what you have all presented today in the video. Great work, and our farmers will soon benefit the improve of agriculture sector to support what our country required and this important juncture. Agriculture in Sri Lanka. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I kindly invite Dr. W.M.W. Veerakon, Director General of Agriculture, to announce the Asda Chairperson 2021.
Minister Sir, when I want to select the Asda chairperson for 2021, there were many equally competent officers. Many of them are here, and there are so many who are listening to us online. It was a difficult task, but yet I had to select an eminent officer as the Asda chairman for 2021. May I announce his name? He is Dr. Jayantha Senanayaka, the Director, Rice Research and Development Institute. May I cordially invite Dr. to come to the podium and get the
Honorable Mahindananda Alutgamge, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable D.B. Herath, State Minister of Livestock, Farm Production, Dairy and Egg Industry, Honorable Mohanta Silva, Production and Supply of Fertilizer and Regulation of Chemical Fertilizer and Insecticide Use, Major General Retired Mr. Sumedha Pereira, Secretaries to the State Ministries, Additional Secretaries, Director General of Agriculture, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakoon, University Academia, including Professor D.K.N.J. Pushpakumar, Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture, Additional Director Generals, private sector professionals, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for giving this opportunity for me. And I know that it's an uphill task. Why I say that our researchers, our extensionists, and other staff, they do Department of Agriculture. We have to unveil their findings at the end of the next year during 2021 as the symposium. So I need your support, Ministry and the Department of Agriculture, and from all my colleagues and all the officers. Together we will do a good job. And so we have big tasks which have been given by the Minister of Agriculture. We want to improve the productivity. We want to, these things will be unveiled, as I believe, during the next Asda. Thank you very much to everybody. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Dr. Jayantha Senanayaka, incoming Asda chairman for the year 2021. I kindly request Dr. Gamini Samarasinghe, Chairman Asda 2020, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much. Good evening to all. Honorable Mahindananda Alutgamage, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Mohanta Silva, State Minister of Agriculture, Honorable D.B. Herath, State Minister of Agriculture, Major General Sumedha Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Director General of Agriculture, and Professor Surya Goda, State Secretaries, Additional Secretaries of the Ministry of Agriculture, University Academics, Deans, Director Generals of the other department, former ministry and DOA officers, private sector delegates, other distinguished guests, members of directorate, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. As you witnessed, the Asda 2020 was a very challenging task due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The advisory committee and executive card, both in the foreground and background, organizing a day hybrid symposium, virtual and live. That's the 2020 is a totally good example of first and foremost, we thank our chief guest, Honorable Mahindananda Alutgamage, Minister of Agriculture. Despite his busy schedule, he has found the time to grace this occasion and encourage innovations. Let us express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the special guest, Honorable Mr. D.B. Herath, the State Ministers of Agriculture, for your presence despite the busy schedule and enlightening about the state ministry's program and your ideas. We also like to thank General Sumedha Perera, Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, for being with us today and your inspiring talk with eye-opening remarks. We are grateful to to the State Ministries of Agriculture, Mr. M.N. Ranasinghe, Mr. Anil Vijayasiri, and Mr. A. Senanayake and Ms. S. Senanayake for your presence here. The Director General of Agriculture, Dr. W.M.W. Veerakorn, has been behind in this whole process. Thanks for nominating me as the chairperson last year and guiding us throughout the right path until the very last moment of the closing ceremony. I consider this as a great privilege and honor, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are grateful to the Editor-in-Chief, Annals of the Department of Agriculture's constructive input. He made a diligent extra effort to bring the all scientific papers of the symposium to the most possible standards in the annal. Thank you, sir, contribution made to the success of Asda 2020. Even by conducting 2 workshops, he contributed a lot, and thank you very much. It is with a great pleasure that I am announcing the Asda 2020 received an over 97 papers. Thank all of them who submitted the papers. Those who have not succeeded this time, please succeed. I take this opportunity to thank all the reviewers, about 74 university academics and other officials, for providing their valuable comments in time and help towards the improvement of the quality of papers presented in the symposium. So I also especially thank Dr. Samanthi Vasala, editor, Tropical Agriculturist, for her support extended to publish full papers in Tropical Agriculturist volume in time. For